charred odor permeated throughout the warehouse, and the air was so heavy that it was hard to breathe. The moment I set foot in the warehouse, a mixture of bewilderment, anxiety, and fear overtook me at once.
It smells.
Something smells.
Hey!
Hey, it's not me.
I am sorry.
I am terribly sorry.
You serious?
Sonia, say it ain't so. No, not that. It's like a smell I've never smelled before.
Like...
Well, that makes sense. There's a lot of strange smells when a bunch of different things were burned.
Hey.
Hey, everyone. Did you know about that curtain? You mean the curtain that was on fire, right? What do you mean, no?
See?
I didn't notice that it until the curtain was burning, but there's a space on the other side of it, too. It looks like where when I looked where Chiaki was pointing, there was space still beyond the burned, tattered curtain. I walked over toward the burned, tattered curtain with slow, methodical steps. I'd never experienced such an oppressive atmosphere before, but I couldn't help holding my breath. And then, on the other side of the curtain, I saw the true source of the intense malice that I've been feeling. Nagito. I had no idea what I was looking at. By the time I realized what I was looking at, the remains of Nagito Komada, the ultimate lucky student, time had already stopped. Eventually, the shock finally registered with me. The numb feelings spread from the center of my brain almost instantly. Nagito is dead. Even when I saw this before me, I wasn't able to comprehend that reality yet.
Huh? What? What?
What's going on here?
Are you serious?
Is he really dead? He's not pretending to be dead, is he? I mean, it's Nagito, you know? That's right. It's Nagito. He always messed with us. He always tried to confuse us. That's why I can't believe it. Nagito ended up in such a cruel state. Nagito is dead. Deep down, I believed that when the killings finally ended, I'd never see this guy again. I never expected I'd be looking at Nagito's body like this. Nagito probably thought the same thing. I couldn't help seeing it in his dead, frightened face. But on this island, unbelievably abnormal occurrences happen all the time. Even Nagito couldn't escape that truth. And even something as small as that.
A body has been discovered! Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin!
Don't tell me.
The body discovery announcement, then it's for real.
Hey!
Then Nagito's really dead?
Damn it.
It's not just that he's dead, but the body announcement discovery was made. Does that mean Nagito was killed? Killed?
That's right.
Plus, it's one of us. I mean, that's what it means, right? One of us killed Nagito? One of us killed him so brutally? Then, it's going to start again. Huh? The class trial is going to start soon, right? Then...
Of course!
Yep, we gotta do it. We gotta find out who Nagito's killer is.
Hey!
No matter who you guys sacrifice, You're determined to survive and leave this island, right?
Shing!
Then the time for the action is now. So allow me to give you the familiar Monokuma file.
Wait!
Hold it. Hold it right there.
Damn it!
What? Don't get in my way like that. I was about to whip out my Monokuma file in such a cool way.
You stupid brother!
Shut up. I can't stand this anymore.
Got it?
How much longer are you gonna keep putting them through this? No more. I won't let you. I'll make sure I pulverize your evil intentions.
Hey!
Say something.
What's this?
Oh, now I remember who you are. You're Monami.
Hey!
You just now noticed?
Like...
Anyway, Monami, if you're gonna talk about my intentions, why don't you talk about yours first? Huh? What, your intentions anyway? What are your intentions anyway? Why are you keeping everyone cooped up on this island? I'm sure everyone here wants to know too, you know. What? No fair. You're shutting up too.
Please wait!
Enough already. We have enough to deal with concerning Nagito. Please, do not say anything that will confuse us.
Hey.
Anyway, let's begin. Huh? But,
This is just...
I mean, in the end, we still have to do it, right? As long as a killing happens, we can't do anything about it, right? We have no choice but to do it, right? Besides, it's our fault that we couldn't prevent it. I know. That's why we can survive, right? That's the only way we can
Nice.
survive, right? Looks like you kids are more well-behaved than Monami.
Don't fuck with me!
We're tired of this too, you know. That's why I'll definitely make sure I'll finish it. To finish this for good this time.
This is kinda depressing.
Does that mean you guys are getting bored of the school trip?
Actually...
Don't worry, the end is near. Huh? The end?
What's the matter?
Don't make a face like a pig that's about to become a bacon. You've already noticed it, right? The meaning behind that Monokuma timer. Well, I guess there's only 2 days left, huh? When that timer reaches 0, 2 days from now, what will happen to us? The killing school trip will be over.
Hey!
If this will finally be over,
You serious?
does that mean we can go home?
What are you gonna do?
Don't count your bears before they've hatched. There's still something you gotta do before that, right? So, once again,
It's the Monokuma file! Phew!
you guys need to find out who Nagito's killer is and survive the class trial. If this ends here, there won't be an afterword at all.
Do your best. Wait! I won't forgive you.
I won't let you escape this time. Wait, right there. What do you guys think? If the school trip is nearly at an end, it's safe to think that we can go home, right?
But still...
Kazuichi, I understand how you feel, but we need to focus on Nagito's case first.
Damn it!
Even if we can go home, that'll be the end for us if we screw up here.
All right!
Then let's hurry up and solve Nagito's case so we can all go home.
However...
It'd be nice to think everyone can go home, but that is impossible, right? I mean, someone in this room killed Nagito. There's a killer among us. The weight of those words began to sink into me. That was true of the previous cases, but was it really true this time? No matter how much I tried, I couldn't believe it. Because the victim was Nagito. Because his death was so abnormally cruel. No, it wasn't just that. There was something more to it than that. And whatever it was, it's stuck inside me. First, we need to look at the Monokuma file. The victim is Nagito Komaeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon, sharp. Not only was the spear stabbed through his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Oh. What a tragic situation. Just reading this makes me depressed.
Huh?
Is there something wrong with this Monokuma file? Again? But what's wrong with it? Not only is there a spear stabbed through his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds in each thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm, and a knife impaled through his right hand.
Yep.
It's definitely weird. Well, I guess I'll find out if I look around. That's what investigating is for. Don't worry or form conclusions on your own. That makes me worried about, more worried than I should be. We can discuss it later. Right now, this is our only chance to investigate. We should investigate first.
See?
If we don't, there won't be anything for us to discuss. Well, I guess you're right. Then let's start with the area surrounding Nagato's body. I should start with the back of the warehouse. Since the curtain blocked most of the water, this area wasn't affected by the sprinklers that much. Thanks to that, I can properly investigate Nagato's body. I never thought I'd have to investigate Nagato's body. You probably didn't expect to end up like this either. God. Who did this? I can't see anyone doing this. Never expected Nagato to die like this. He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. But even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, I wasn't completely useless. He wasn't completely useless. There were times where we were only able to reach the truth because of him. But everything good and bad about him is gone. And we'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be able to be saved by him again. No, now is not the time to think of unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. For now, I need to investigate everything about the body that catches my eye. Both of Nagato's legs were tied up. Each rope is tied to a pillar nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie Nagato up, they also stabbed his legs? Why would the killer do something like that?
Damn it!
At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The murderer must have been holding a huge grudge toward him. Or they might have been torturing him. Torture?
Huh?
I mean, they just wanted to kill him. They could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? If you disregarded the spear in his chest, the other wounds that were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nagato's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagato confess? Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so.
Well, even if this was torture, there was no doubt that the killer must have had a deep grudge towards Nagato. Okay, I have a suspicion so far. Because the only person that... It says that he died noon. I mean, that could have been set up in advance, and like a timer could have killed him or something. But there was one person that wasn't really with us until later. That was Sonia. Sonia was hanging out at the military base. So...
Damn it!
Using the limb die easily. I can totally understand a dark impulse like that. But even if they only held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? Nagato's right hand is tied with a rope. It looks like it ripped. The tip of the rope was burned off. Could this be the result of a fire? But that's weird. The rope was burned off like this. Why are Nagato's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? Was it any of us? Could someone be on the island? Other than us 7. Or other than us 6, I guess now. There's a cut in his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this looks like a slice. There's probably a reason why the wound in his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to his other wounds. Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound. There's blood everywhere.
Super difficult.
There's something strange. Strange? What?
See?
Look at the palm of his left hand. I think that blood is from his when his left arm was sliced, but doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off at the middle of his palm. Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it was splattered? Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but there's something else that's strange? When you flip it over and look at the back of his hand,
Well?
there's also blood. There's also blood, and but only above the middle joint of each finger. You're right. Why is this the only part?
See?
See, it's just like I said. It's strange, right? I win. Yeah, sure, you win. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagato's stomach. There's no way around it. That looks like the fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my, what's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle and there's an iron weight attached to it.
Phew!
I see. Use the cord to whip around to capture your enemy and deliver the final blow with the spear. Is this your first time looking at this too? Of course not. This is the Spear of Gungnir, right? You definitely just came up with that now.
Hey! Hey!
By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did that spear come from? I feel like I saw it at Nezumi Castle.
What?
What? Nezumi Castle?
What the hell?
I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you, mice. Damn you all to hell. Let's see. Even he doesn't know what's inside that castle. More importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord coming out of the handle. It looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, a section of the cord doesn't. It's about the size of a human fist. It's strange that that section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Also, Chiaki mentioned this earlier, but apparently this spear came from the Nezumi Castle. It might be better if I confirm that later. What have I not confirmed? Oh, his face. He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered up with duct tape. Was that to keep Nagato from screaming for help?
This is bad.
Jeez, what a horrible look on his face. The blood splattered all over doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth was covered with duct tape. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to look at him. Got a minute? Sorry, excuse me. Chiaki moved past Kazuchi and squatted down next to Nagato's face. And with one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off his mouth. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
No, it'll be fine. I'll put it right back once I'm done investigating you.
Hey!
Put that tape back. Putting that tape back isn't the issue. You ungrateful swine. You're gonna get cursed. The blood on Nagato's face. It looks like it came from the slice on his left arm. If that's the case...
Man.
That's no use. She's not listening.
Hey!
Hey, about the blood splattered on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape.
Huh?
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well?
This duct tape has crinkles. Like it was sticking towards the inside of his mouth, right? Nagito probably was desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape. Seriously, what's wrong with that? She means Nagito's mouth was covered up with duct tape before he got all those wounds on his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about? I don't really get it, but just put the duct tape back on his mouth already, please.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, this might be some kind of clue too. I should remember it. The knife? The knife stabbed into Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? This knife, it must be from the military base. Military base? Ah, now that you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife.
Well?
By the way, it seems the wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by that same knife. Which means after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife through his right hand.
It cannot be.
And then they finished him off with the spear.
How cruel.
Then, does that mean the killer went through the trouble of using two weapons, a knife and a spear? They could have just killed him by stabbing him with the knife. Why did they need to use the spear at all?
You are right.
That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it? A reason they had to use the spear, huh? From the castle. I guess I'm done with the surrounding area of Nagito's body. Jeez, I can't believe I'm actually investigating such a grisly looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? My classmate's dead body is right in front of me. One of my peers is the killer responsible. And I have to investigate his death so I can find the killer. Am I used to this something as abnormal as this? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. Monokuma's dead? There's blood coming out of his stomach. Hey. No response. He's dead, Jim. Just kidding. I'm not dead. Is this one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory? If you're mistaking a plushie for me, then there's something wrong with you. You're a stuffed animal too.
Hey!
Don't put oversized garbage there. It's so misleading.
What the heck?
What are you calling oversized garbage? Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? Then why'd he do it? Making a hole that looks like it got stabbed and going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood. Did he even did he try to intimidate imitate Nagito's body or something?
What are you saying?
It has nothing to do with that. Huh?
You're so evil.
He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there.
What's this?
You seem more pissed off than usual these days, Monami. But you'd better watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know.
I
won't give in to your threats. I'll fight back until the very end.
can't lose.
I will definitely take back the seat of the world's supremacy from Monokuma. Looks like those annoyances are gone. If it isn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done it? If so, is this Nagito's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incident. Huh. Is this? It's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did an extensive damage here. The oil lighter was placed here.
Just kidding.
Ah, an oil lighter. Someone probably wanted to keep warm.
Bring it on.
It's a most foolish thought. This is certainly the cause of the fire.
Well,
Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them.
which means
Using that, the curtain was set on fire. Using the oil lighter, huh? Do you think the killer set it up with some sort of trick?
You are right.
The killer probably planned to destroy the evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. He calls the fire to destroy evidence? That's the only reason I can think why the killer would set a fire on their crime scene, but... A bunch of these plastic bottles, remnants of the plastic, are all scattered all over the place. This is probably... those fire grenades we used to put out the fire. Well, they actually didn't, they weren't actually that useful in the end. The fire was only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers. Well, nevertheless, this evidence really isn't all that strange. She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling?
Yep.
Yeah, about that sprinkler. There's one of those sprinkler heads that are that activated to put out the fire.
Well,
You can see a girder right next to it, right? There?
see?
You see that red streak? Huh? You're right, I definitely see it. It looks like a small red line on the ceiling of the girder.
Perhaps.
Is that blood? Blood? The color definitely looks like blood, but there's no way blood could get up there, right? Plus, it's a straight line. That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. It's definitely strange. I should remember this. One of us killed Nagito in such a cruel way? Yeah, that's too bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh. Kazuichi, that's kind of creepy.
So just as I thought.
If only everyone could go home. Nothing would make me happier. No, we should finish the class trial, then I can think about what will happen after.
Like,
I'm not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but I definitely can't stop thinking about it. When the Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's gonna happen?
huh?
Huh? What's gonna happen?
That's obviously wrong.
This rotten school trip's gonna end, right? And then we'll finally be able to go home. Carefree until then. Carefree till the end. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen?
Well, yeah.
Monokuma is planning to make us do something after the countdown ends.
Hey,
What do you mean something?
shut up! Shut up!
He's making us kill each other, you know? What could he do that's worse than that?
Damn it!
I don't know. This is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this will end smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it ends for us. So for now, let's just focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
You...
And don't bring up strange stuff like that. It mattered for Gundam's killing and Mikan's. But it looks different this time, doesn't it? It doesn't matter this time. What doesn't matter?
So,
Time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written on the Monokuma file. The time was at noon sharp. If it was at noon, what were we doing at that time? What were we doing? Well, right now, it's
time.
It's 12:30 p.m. So it also has a clock function. That means Nagito died 30 minutes ago. Huh? It happened that recently? He's totally a fresh kill. Fresh seems like a bad way to describe it. If it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the time we were struggling with the bombs? You're right, those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon.
All right!
Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagito's killer. Well, now this just seems too simple because, like I said, the only person that wasn't there was Sonia. But that seems too simple. But This could be like when Nakamura died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Also, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have had time. They would have needed time to prepare.
All right!
And whoever did this doesn't have an alibi before the bombs were found. It's suspicious.
Huh?
Wait, none of us have alibis for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, that's a problem. Now then, I guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. The killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito. There should have been another reason as well. If not, they wouldn't have gone to all the trouble of tying him up with rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than fatal ones. So, what was the reason? Looks like I better investigate other areas to figure out that. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside the warehouse first. This is an MP3 player. It even has speakers plugged in. But why is it here?
Maybe.
It looks like that weird music was playing from there. You know, that music was blaring from the fire when the fire started. Yeah, you're right. Looks like it's busted from getting drenched by the sprinklers. There's no mistaking it. That music was playing from that MP3 player. I don't disagree with that, but why was the killer playing music from this? Huh? There's a lot of tipped over Monokuma panels. The panels near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? But why are they scattered like this? The last time I came in here, I seem to recall they should have all been neatly put away. Maybe we're the ones who made this mess? Huh?
See?
Look, the tipped over panel by the entrance is really close to the door, right? So, maybe the reason the panels are tipped over is... they did a domino effect. Could it be? Was that it?
Well,
And there's something else I've been wondering.
hey.
These Monokuma panels are tipped over starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse, right? They seem to be lying on the top of each other in a straight line. Yeah, compared to the one that tipped over panels, that line is the only one that is neat and orderly.
So,
Isn't this clearly strange? Strange, that means we can speculate this was done intentionally. Dominoes! Yes.
like,
Oh wait, hold on. She was saying something different. It looked like it was the same thing. Oh no, she is saying the same thing. Tons of books. There are a bunch of books stacked on top of each other, apparently contain Monokuma's poetry and photos. The sprinklers completely soaked them. I can't even turn the pages anymore. Well, it's not like I'm missing much. All these CDs, they're a copy of Monokuma's music. They should have been burned too. Is that everything? What else could there be? I thought I've talked to everyone. Maybe I'll talk to everyone again, I guess. Looks like Sonia is focused on investigating the warehouse. Which reminds me, there's something I needed to ask her about. Now that we've pretty much finished up the investigating Nagito's body, I think it's time to talk to her. Hey Sonia, do you have a minute? Yes, what is it? I want to talk to you about when that fake bomb Nagito set up in the warehouse exploded. Huh? Right before it exploded, you said something like this, right? It is alright, it is not a bomb. Why did you know the bombs were fake? Well, That's not all either. When you were looking for the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching the central island. Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Where were you, and what were you doing during that time?
Oh my! It cannot be!
Do you suspect me? It is a misunderstanding. I am not the killer. Jesus, shit, you son of a bitch. Sonia?
I am sorry!
I'm terribly sorry. I was panicked. I shall come down and explain to you why I was at the military base. When I first explored the final island, I discovered a vast amount of bombs there. Huh?
Well?
At first, I was worried that someone might have used them for nefarious reasons if I announced it to everyone. So I kept it silent this whole time. Does that mean when you heard Nagito plant bombs, you got suspicious and went to investigate them?
That is...
And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. And because you were searching for them, you were late when we all gathered.
Please listen!
And because of that, I reached a conclusion. The bombs Nagito bought from the military base, which means they were fake bombs. How did you find out the bombs at the military base were fake? Because I attempted to use one of them. What?
I see.
I thought that one of the bombs would be strong enough to blast open the ancient ruins. At the time, I still believed the bombs were real. And I thought that I could use one of them to gain entrance to the ancient ruins.
However,
that
plan was an utter failure. The bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display. God damn it, all to hell!
I see. So that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake.
I did. As did Monami as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb. Which means...
If those bombs are the same ones that disappeared, it would mean Nagito took them. That is why I knew it was a fake. However, I did not think it was strange when Nagito blew up the hotel lobby. The bomb was real, and I could not stop thinking about it. But upon further reflection, that might have been Nagito's plan all along. He showed us a real bomb to make us believe that the bombs were that he set were real as well. So, if so, then Nagito's actions were extremely calculated. But the problem is, his reason for doing that. With this, I have explained everything.
Do you have a minute?
There should be no more reason for you to doubt me. You're right, I got it. Still not so sure about that. Alright, I've pretty much finished looking for clues inside the warehouse. I was able to find some clues, but there are still so many things I don't understand yet.
Hold it.
You look worried. Yeah, I am.
Well?
At a time like this, it might be good for you to broaden your investigation range. You mean, it's good to investigate other places as well. You might be right. There are several things I've been wondering besides the crime scene. The military base that Sonia mentioned, the plushie factory next door, Nezumi Castle where the spear originally came from, and Nagito's room too. If I'm going to understand the reason for his actions, I need to know more about him. I'm pretty sure the others have already finished investigating.
Can you hear me?
Hey you guys, isn't it time we leave this place and try exploring other areas too? In response to Chiaki, the others gathered around her.
I see.
I agree. I was just thinking about proceeding to another area. It seems we had the same idea.
Huh?
But is it safe? There won't be anyone to guard the crime scene.
Yep.
We don't have a choice. There just isn't enough of us. Besides, we've investigated all we can here. Yeah, I guess you're right.
See?
Also, it looks like the clues we found aren't enough to piece this incident together. So we need to search for them in other areas. Probably. Well, alternatively, if there aren't any clues in the other areas either, we'd have to give up completely. I don't really need to say that. You really don't need to say that. And it's okay if we leave this place? It's okay.